Assassin's Promise by Thomas Woodward, Chapter 116. A fist snapped, cracking the dry air with its sudden force. Another, smaller fist echoed the movement of the first. Twin legs moved in unison, drawing in a wide circular arc as the two women worked, utterly focused on their task. Another set of fists snapped outwards, and a shout of expelling air could be heard. Ducking gracefully like a swan, the younger woman rebounded with an extended knee before tipping forward and losing her balance. Behind her, Kayana flowed on, nimble limbs mere extensions of her will. Millie sat on the ground, dazed but happy. She watched the other woman, carefully trying to follow her movements with her eye. She could not follow most of what she saw. The other woman simply moved too quickly. A complex series of half-turns ended with an upraised palm as the other woman stood perched on one foot, her other leg bent and providing stability for the first. Kayana eased into the final movements, calmly relaxing her muscles, breathing in exaggerated slowness. Eventually, she simply ground to a stop, arms raised high, as if they were reaching towards the sun. She shifted the movement into a languid stretch, like that of a cat, and arched her back before sitting down on the sand. Millie tried to ignore the heat under her feet. She spread out her shift and lay backwards to keep the heat off her toes. Only a short time now. She would meet Gavis soon, and he would decide their fate. Millie knew that whatever they had been told might change abruptly. She would not give her trust again lightly. The harrowing experience she and Kayana had barely survived had been a brutal teacher. Millie moved her arm tentatively. She still had to be extremely careful not to move it too far in any direction. The broken bone was healing, but it would be weeks yet before she could put more weight on it. Kayana had shown Millie some exercises to keep her flexibility. The pain hurt, but the other woman had said this would pass as she forced the arm to grow stronger. Kayana also spent an hour or so massaging away the pain and soreness before she slept. Millie hoped she could learn more, but was happy just to be with the other woman. Kayana was a marvelous teacher. She had been very patient, at least so far. Millie wondered what would happen once she regained the full use of her arm. As she sat there waiting, a hand brushed her shoulder. Millie almost discounted it as the wind before looking up. There stood Gavis, head of the Merchant Council. "She's remarkable. To think a daughter of the leopard would have traveled so far to meet us. It's a wonder." Gavis continued to observe for a moment before turning to Millie. "However, you are the true treasure. The gift you have been given is sacred to our people. Your courage precedes you, even now among our ranks. If I may be so forward, where do you come from, child? Tell me of your home. I crave to know. No living master has witnessed the passing of one favored by our God. I feel unsure how to proceed." Millie, startled, quickly rose to her feet before dipping into a low curtsy. "Good sir, please, your words are too kind. I will tell you of my home, but it's not a remarkable place. There are barely 200 people who live there. Can you tell me more of the gift?" Millie's eyes flicked over to the shimmering length of black silk. She had tied it to her waist, afraid of removing it completely. "Please excuse my manners. When you and your friend have finished your exercise, please come to my tent. I will have servants bring refreshments for us, and I will tell you all you wish to know. If I might be so bold, I would love to know more about you as well." With a flick of his wrist, the heavy-set man motioned a team of servants who came forth, offering fantastical candies to Millie before the troop swept away, with Gavis at their head. Two veiled servants waved exotic fronds to create a breeze for their master. Staring in wonder, Millie sniffed one of the golden toffee-like candies and quickly took a small bite. The flavor overwhelmed her. She had never tasted anything like it. Her tongue felt a strange, sweet sensation that moved over her in a wave. She wanted more. Finishing the last movement, Kayana stood stock still, waiting for the troop to disappear from sight. What do you think of him, Millie? Kiana's tone was even, neutral. I'm not sure. I hope to trust him, but I don't know if I can. It seems like he wanted something from me. The way his face lit up when he spoke about my home. I think there is something he wants greatly, but there is a chance he can grant me passage to the far coast. Millie looked away for a moment. Will you come with me, Kiana? The question came out quiet, almost a whisper. Yes. Kiana's tone was warm. She met Millie's eyes, her gaze steady. Thank you, Kiana. It means the world to me. Your parents trusted in me and Gerald. Although he fell, I continue on. I will not betray that trust. With a slow smile, Kiana continued, And I wish to see the woman you will become. You have a fine heart, shaped by fire. With an impish grin, Kiana turned abruptly, walking away towards their tent. Millie waited only a moment before rushing to catch up. She knew true safety was only a mirage, but with Kiana near, her wariness lessened to a manageable level. But what of Irna, her children? What would become of them now?